Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Look, man, you guys know yesterday was the end of the season, man. And look, man, I'm a little sad, man, because I feel like we left a lot on the table. We left a little meat on the bone, so to speak, man. Feel like that. I feel like we could have done something a lot more special, man, had they made the coaching change earlier, man. But guys, we are going to get into all of the rumors. I am sure that you guys have already, heard the perspective of many. I know you guys over on Graf's show. Shout out to my guy Graf. You know what I'm saying? But look, I see things a little different, bro, than a lot of others. I mean, Graf and I, we kind of on the same sheet of music with a lot of stuff, but there are a lot of other people that are out there that I'm seeing talk about the AP situation, seeing talk about the Harbaugh situation, seeing talking about, everything. We're definitely going to get into it right now. Shout out to the over 250 people in the room right now. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. My man Martin from way across the pond, Chip Chip Cheerio. My guy Nada, my dog Thor's in a place, man. Thor, man, shout out to my dog Thor, man. ACL, man. What up, Raider Nation? Got the last win of the season, beat the Denver. I'm not reading that. Looking amazing. But I really hope we keep AP. A lot of people do, guys. Adam C. Brandon C's in the place. Raider Felon is in the place. Alex Perez, Leaky, Tiapo, my guy JP, Daniel, Caps, Keenan. Richard C. Where you been, Richard C? Rich C, what it is, man. Black Tie Raider. Franklin, Planet Raider Skinner is in the place. Pride and Purpose. The General, the Get Off My Lawn Army, Dan Tessier, and my guy, Lewis Hearn, with the first super chat of the day with the $5 holler. Getting wasted with my brother, Wasted. I appreciate y'all. Everybody over on Twitter, come on in here and participate in the Madcap Fun. We are Raider Nation Unlimited, and we do have cookies over here. McRaider, Richard Twitchell, my guy, Christopher Dixon, my brother. Good things are coming to the nation, man. And that's how I see it, man. We got nothing but right, guys. Nothing but right. Chuckles, diving right in. Jumping the line. Whoever we hire as GM will tell you where we're going in the head coach direction. And guys, listen, that is a fact. The one thing that, I've been very, very, very concerned about is bringing a head coach that has congruent power with the GM. I feel like, organizational structure is a huge, huge point for me. That is one of the reasons why at the Raiders is currently constituted is something that agrees with me, right? We have a head coach that coaches. We have a GM that GMs. And we have an owner that owns. And this is the thing, man. I have people in the chat right now lying, outright lying. The second best show on YouTube. No, sir. No, sir. Listen, man. Oak Las Vegas Network is old news. We are styling and profiling over here. You rocking with the best wasted talent right now. Shout out to my dog Graf, man. But no, in all seriousness, organizational structure is very, very important. That is the one thing in this whole mess of coaches that I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose guys doing their job. I don't want to see my head coach trying to be a GM. Because normally when you have a head coach that's the head coach and de facto GM, you have people who are doing two jobs poorly. It has been very, very few people that can do that at a high level. And the reason why you have the Andy Reids of the world, you have, the Bill Belichick's of the world, because they have groomed their guy to think almost as they do. This is something that, for me, I don't have the bandwidth for anymore. I want my head coach to just be a head coach. My guy, McRader. Thank you. Because Harbaugh works somewhere else doesn't mean it will work here. We have something special right now. Now, listen, I'm going to be real with you. Guys, emotion is the enemy of reason. I say it all the time, right? So when you look at what's going on here, right? When you look at what's going on here, we got a situation where you know damn well that Mark Davis is not pissing around he's not pissing around the Jim Harbaugh thing for effect. He's not doing this just for some Rooney Rule thing because, Jim Harbaugh doesn't check any of them boxes. He is a guy who likes to take the big swing. He's the guy who likes to make a splash. He's in an entertainment town, right? And he's looking at an unproven commodity and he's not a football guy. But if I'm being honest, man, if Jim Harbaugh, and I've said this a few times, and I'll repeat myself, if Jim Harbaugh wants this job, he will get this job. Now, there are a few things and a few caveats to where I feel like Jim Harbaugh wouldn't take this job. One is if the Chicago Bears, in their infinite wisdom, now I've heard they're going to keep Ryan Poles and Eberflus, but if the Chicago Bears were to just have a whiff of doubt, or maybe Jim Harbaugh is, goes full selling himself and says, hey, man, I would like to come home and coach the monsters of the Midway. I would like to come home and coach my former team, the team that drafted me, such as he did in college. His college football journey as a coach and his coaching journey took him back to his alma mater, right? I can possibly see that happening. Now, if the Chicago Bears were to offer Jim Harbaugh a job, I think we don't have much to talk about. The Chicago Bears are in a supreme situation. They have the number 1 pick. They have the 9th pick. That is a way better situation for Jim Harbaugh to be in. Now, when we're talking about the Charger gig is not as attractive as the Raider gig. It just really isn't. The Chargers are in salary cap hell. Yeah, they've located the quarterback and pass rusher, but they have an off-if-injured pass rusher, and they have a guy who hasn't really won on a subsistent level. Because if Justin Herbert did, they wouldn't be hiring another coach. Now, is that a symptom or the disease, right? Is Justin Herbert not achieving at a high level because of Brandon Staley, or did Brandon Staley not achieve on a high level because of Justin Herbert? We will soon see, right? So, guys, the reason why I am out here, and I will tell you, man, the Raiders are probably not going to hire Antonio Pierce because I don't want y'all to all be shocked. I want them to hire Antonio Pierce. It feels good, right? It passed the eye test. It passed the smell test. The swagger's back, right? And a lot of us are really way into that old Raiders swagger, right? But swagger don't get wins. And winning a Super Bowl, winning a championship, sustained excellence is what I'm looking for. I've been a fan of this team a long time. And there's some people that have been a fan longer than me because they've been alive longer than me, right? But all of you that are listening to my voice right now, you guys see the organizations across the National Football League. You see them. You see the ones that you can pencil them in and say, hey, man, they're going to the playoffs. Pencil them and say they got a chance if they do X, Y, and Z. They got a chance to win the Super Bowl. That is all I want. It's all I want right now. Yo, you got to crawl before you walk. I want to be a perennial playoff contender, first and foremost, and then I want to win a championship. And if I'm being honest, the guy who gives me the chance to do that is the guy that I've seen do it before. Now, conversely, all of you will say, hey, Jim didn't get it done until he got it done, right? And that's fair. Sean McVay didn't get it done until he got it done. Let AP blaze his own path. And I'm all for that. But I'm just preparing you. All of these interviews are not happening just for effect. They're happening for a reason, everybody. And we're going to get into some of the guys I'm sure you guys have heard, but we're definitely going to get into it. Lisa, I was chatting with my coworker in Chicago, and she was like, there's a rumor that Harbaugh would go there. Lisa, you are absolutely correct. Shout out to the fly and wonderful Lisa. Yo, Jim Harbaugh was drafted by the Chicago Bears. Jim Harbaugh most likely might not have to really relocate. I don't know how close he lives in Michigan, because Michigan and Chicago are right by each other. I don't know how close he lives to Chicago, but it wouldn't be the same tall order for him to, reunite and come out here to Las Vegas. Now, conversely, Jim Harbaugh's wife is originally, her family is from Las Vegas. So that is definitely something we need to look into. Now, let me go on ahead and read some of these supers, man. Chuckles. Chain of command, my brother. Chain of command. And that's what, listen, chain of command is very vital in every faction of life. And I think the Raiders have made that mistake. If I can say there's one big mistake, man, Mark Davis doesn't have that set of checks and balances. You can't just take the lazy and the easy way out and just dump the weight of the world on one man and make him solely responsible for the fortunes of one of the banner franchises in sports. It has to be a consortium. It has to be, more than one person who kind of has a say in this thing. My guy, Joe Capital. I don't think I've seen so much of a sideline up of GM, the head coach for the Raiders job in such a long time. It feels like a switch flipped in Mark Davis's head. I just hope he keeps moving smart. He is. Listen, you can't say no to anything until you go out there and do your just desserts. You got to do your just diligence. You have to. I'm glad Mark is doing this. I know a lot of us want to hear, effective immediately, Antonio Pierce is the guy, right? But if he's really the guy, I want Mark Davis to go out there and not have buyer's remorse with Antonio Pierce. Because if he really believes in Antonio Pierce and he goes through the process, the hook won't be so quick if we hit some rough patches. And if we do hit a rough patch, and when I'm on here and I'm telling you guys, listen, man, let's be patient, let's wait, let's not just throw the baby out with the bathwater and be like, this rabid fan base that we are. Let's let everything play out. Just remember, if we do pick Antonio Pierce and we run into a little rough patch, remember, this is what we all wanted. So now I don't want to hear it if we do hit a little rough patch, because this is what we wanted. I don't want y'all to hear. I don't want to hear y'all calling the owner an idiot. I don't want to hear nothing, because from a man, from the fan base to the players on this team and to the legends of this team, everybody to a man is asked for Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce walked out of the stadium yesterday like Maximus. He was like Maximus in Gladiator. They were chanting his name. I've never seen anything like it. So just remember that. We got over 500 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Hug these. First show I'm catching today. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Grass beard is distracting anyway. Let's get this show cracking. My dog, Hug D's, with the $5 holla. Appreciate you, my dog. We got to get down here. Freak money. We could have the next Mike Tomlin. We could potentially let him walk for another big name. Mark should listen to the boots on the ground, which is his team. AP earned it. Guys, listen. Once again, I will tell you this. Mark should listen and mind the business that pays him. Mark Davis is the owner of the Raiders. This is Mark Davis's money. The players ain't spending their money to bring these coaches in. And guess what? If this team isn't good, they could demand to be traded and get cut and get traded and go to another situation and be fine. This is Mark Davis's life work. Nobody cares more about the fortunes of the Raiders than Mark Davis. Let's be for this is father's, this is family's business, bro. The same way we go out here every day and we punch a clock. That's the most important thing. How you putting food on the table? So if it makes Mark comfortable to go through the interview process, if this helps open his mind up to make better decisions as an owner, then I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. Because what I don't want to happen is I don't want the next rock star to walk out of this building without us actually doing our just diligence. Telling you, man. Jay Fernandez, college players don't always transition well to the NFL. Same goes for college coaches. Why the hell did Harbaugh go back to Michigan? Because his big bro beat him in the Super Bowl? No, it was time. It was a good situation for Jim. Him and the 49ers brass weren't seeing eye to eye. Jim is an intense guy. The 49ers brass, Jed York and all those guys, he was a little arrogant doucher back in the day, little privileged kid, and they weren't seeing eye to eye. So Jim went back to college. That was his dream job. He exercised his rights as a coach and he left. And guess what? I have no problem with that. That's nothing to do with it. Don't make it like he ran because he wasn't successful in the NFL, though. Come on, brother. My guy, Big Mike Raiders in a place. Shout out to my dog, Big Mike, man. Shout out to my guy, Richard Twitcher with the $20 holler, man. We on fire. Our future is bright. They're lining up to be part of the only nation. Line them up. That's what I'm talking about. Now, guys, let's get into some of the firings today because everything that's happened today has something to do with the Raiders, man. Because to be honest with you, I remember in the day, man, when guys would get fired, the Raiders wouldn't even be at the top of the list. We would think that, yeah, we're in play for X, Y, coach X, Y, and Z. Yo, I think we're pretty much the most attractive job damn near out there, right? So the already open coaching vacancies are the Raiders, of course, because, we have an interim coach. The Carolina Panthers, they fired Frank Wright, worst owner in professional sports. And they fired their GM today, too. So take that to the bank. The Los Angeles Chargers fired Brandon Staley after we opened up that fresh can. The Atlanta Falcons got fired. Arthur Smith, I think that's one of the reasons why he was so heated. They tried to score their extra touchdown, too, man. The Washington Commandos, or Commanders, or whatever the hell they are. Riverboat Ron is out. He's gone fishing. No more Riverboat. Now, teams and jobs that are likely to open. The New England Patriots, after their loss to the Jets, could possibly open. That could be a Mike Vrabel special there. The Chicago's Bears. Big picture decisions await the Bears. The New Orleans Saints. They say that Dennis Allen appears to be safe. I beg to differ. You never know. You never freaking know. So those are some of the jobs. And then the Atlanta Falcons, man. I mean, not the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, my gosh. Tennessee Titans. They're going to meet with Mike Vrabel soon. My guy, my dog, the wonderful, the illustrious and praiseworthy Mr. Rogers. Hypothetical. Mark was close to Cliff Branch. If he was still around, what coach you think he would want as a coach? Look, I can't sit up there to profess what Cliff Branch would say, but what I will say is that AP is a master salesman. He is a leader of men. He is in the fraternity of brothers who have played this game of football, and he's very well liked around that Raider building. I would say that Cliff Branch would probably want AP. I think anybody connected to the Raiders will want AP. Like real rap. Because we're an emotional fan base, we're going off of the emotion and thing. But as we get further and further away from this season, and you start putting resumes next to each other, it's hard to make that decision, man. It really is. It's hard to make a decision this big off of vibes. Now, the way I feel like AP is going to stay is if Jim Harbaugh tries to put the Raiders in a bind with a big bidding war. I feel like AP is going to stay because at the end of the day, the Raiders are going to offer him the job, and maybe he might accept right off the bat. But I know the Chargers are going to do everything in their power to bring Jim Harbaugh in. Then you also got to watch the Redskin job. Maybe they might be wanting to make a splash with a Ben Johnson, but they might be wanting to make a splash with the biggest name out there. But at the end of the day, what the players want and what Mark Davis does has no bearing on each other. I'm sure he considers that. It's the same way with your children. Your children could want ice cream. They could want cookies and cake. But, yo, you know, like my dad used to say to me, you can make a wish in one hand and a crap in the other. See which one comes first. I don't care what you want. I'm doing what needs to be done. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Axe, my dog, man. Khalil King is in a place, man. Let me get to some of these supers, y'all. We're going to get back at it. Daniel Caps Keenan. All I want is to just win, baby. Whoever the coach is. Raiders, my dog. Caps, my guy, Chris Mitchell. I'd rather run through a season with AP instead of the next wannabe. First live show, bro. Watch it since week 4. Appreciate you, Chris Mitchell, and thank you for donating to the channel, man, for with the $5 holler, man, and appreciate you for pulling up live, man. We need it, man. We need that engagement, my brother. Noah, hey, Wasted, good show as always. What Mark really needs to do is hire a GM first. Then he takes a step back and let that person make the football decisions for hiring in the scouting department. And that's a fact, bro. But see, the thing about it is that decision might not just be made without Mark being in the room, without whoever in his brain trust being in the room. I think that's more of a brain trust kind of a decision. You know what I mean? I don't want to see one guy just bring a guy in without having the okay from the owner and other people that are attached to the situation, if I'm being honest, man. But look, let's get into it, right? So there are some people, there's some things that happen today that Mark Davis is allowing to happen. He's allowing our guys to go out there and seek interviews, and we're also bringing in other people. So let's start. The Raiders have requested permission to interview 49ers assistant GM Adam Peters, man. Now, Adam Peters is a rising star out there in the front office world. Rising star, man. Real slick cat, man. Real slick cat. He looks like a high-end car salesman. Man, let me tell you something, man. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. And I think, and I'm sure you guys have heard, I think that the GM job is going to tell us everything we need to know, yo. Everything we need to know. So let me share my screen with y'all. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Shefty reported today from his X feed, the Raiders have requested permission to interview assistant GM Adam Peters for their general manager job, per source. We got some other Raider news up here. We got other stuff moving. 49ers to interview 49ers assistant GM Adam Peters for the general manager job to the Commanders. So he's hot off the press. Everybody likes this kid. The Commanders are doing it too. The Commanders are bugging too, man. They brought in Bob Myers, man. They're in a great move for my basketball team, the Knicks, man. I mean, golly. That's right. As opposed to a used car salesman. Hey, man, those new car, high-end car salesmen, slick dudes, man. Slick dude does not have an ill-fitting suit. Coach DC. But I'm not asking my kids to perform for the public. They have to be inspired, bro. You played, you know this. Max will be pissed if Mark tells him he has to switch twice. But see, this is the thing, bro. We do ask our kids to perform for the public. We ask our kids to perform when we send them to school. We ask them to perform and be their best selves when they go out into the world and be good citizens, right? This is what we expect of them. And sometimes when you're in a position of leadership, you have to do what's necessary and what's not popular. Hold on to what I just said right there. We got over 600 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Yo, sometimes you have to do what is necessary and not what is popular. Now, we don't know what that looks like. Now, when we talk about an Antonio Pierce, and we've been doing this for days, when you talk about an Antonio Pierce, the problem is the unknown factor. Whether Patrick Graham is the guy that comes back with him. And I think, if I'm being honest, if Patrick Graham gets another opportunity and he takes it, he doesn't come back with AP, I would want Jim Harbaugh. Because if you look at this season, Patrick Graham is the real MVP of this team. He's the guy who got this defense playing at a coherent level. He's the guy that's calling that defense, holding people to under 21 points. And if you look at all of the games that we lost, and even all of the games that we won, the games that we won were all predicated on defense. They're predicated on defense, and they were predicated on what kind of philosophy that was brought down from Patrick Graham. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's some things with AP that leave to be desired. Clock management, situational football. It's things that he's going to learn. And I'm not saying to run him out of here. But some of that stuff, if you bring it in to Jim Harbaugh, you don't got to worry about that again. That's right. But let's hope that whatever decision is made, it leads to a dynasty. Docs was saying that if we get Dodds as the GM, then Harbaugh's coming. Yeah, bro. Look, Ed Dodds and Harbaugh have been kind of joined at the hip since before we hired McDummy. They've been joined at the hip. Been joined at the hip. My God, shout out to my guy Super Amari Kron. Shout out to my peoples, the great and powerful Top Beats, man. About time someone gave PG the recognition he deserves. Yes. Yeah, bro. Like, yo, this whole thing with what we've done on this field, man. Patrick Graham, I'm telling you right now, those who know football, Patrick Graham might get hired. And the thing I got to ask you is, how do you feel about the AP regime without Patrick Graham? Oh, yeah? Y'all sucking hard balls. Stick in my head. Sad. Man, listen, bro. You know what you're going to be sucking right now? You're going to be sucking the biggest block I've ever blocked. Man.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
You are about to be unceremoniously blocked. Blocked, Judah. Get F out of here. Blocked. Effing bum. You talk about sucking something. Listen, bro, I'm over here working, man. Do I come to your job, Judah Jew, and kick penises out your mouth? Do I do that to you? The F out of here. That's right, I actually blocked him this time. The F out of here. Effing bum. Coming here being disrespectful. He sucked this block. I needed that, man. But listen, and that's right. You get off the old man's lawn. Judah, whatever the F. Yeah, man, thank you. I enjoyed that block, man. Woo. My guy, Access, man. Shout out to my dog, man. Wasted. Mark Davis keeps going after big name dudes and it's not working. Time to trust what he saw and listen to his players and fan base. Raiders. Now look, bro. This is the thing, right? I think that we got to walk that whole he's going after big names thing back, right? When Mark Davis got this team, when his father passed away, Mark Davis, from the very beginning, wanted John Gruden. From the beginning. Shout out to Hondo Carpenter. But from the very beginning, he wanted John Gruden. And he had to settle for Jack Del Rio. Then he was forced to fire John Gruden. And then there was this thing with, can I convince Jim to come back? Jim hadn't gotten to the mountaintop yet. He wasn't ready. So then who's the other person that you hire? Who else would you have hired? Besides, Josh McDaniels wasn't a bad, like at that point, you're like, well, damn, Josh McDaniels been with the Patriots, Patriot way, let's go. Right? Was there anyone else that he passed over that was a smaller candidate that we would have wanted besides Rich? When we say Rich Bisaccia, like, bro, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have hired Richie B. I wouldn't have. Career special teams coach who's never been interviewed for anything else. Now, Antonio Pierce is a little different. Antonio Pierce is on the right side of 60. Like Rich Bisaccia is an older guy, right? Papa Rich, they called him. It's a little different. If I'm Mark Davis, I want stability going forward. And that's why I feel like you can't compare the two. I feel like AP is a guy who should get this job because he's young enough. He connected with these guys differently. Like they love Richie B, but I've never seen players gravitate to a guy like that. I've never seen everybody from the coaches, the fans alike, gravitate like that, right? And with me saying that, that's why the Harbaugh thing, bro, is something to where I understand where Mark is coming from, man. Because at the end of the day, it's his money, bro. It's his money. We forget about that. It's his money. And the thing about it is, the thing with Harbaugh is a guy who is looking for his first Super Bowl win, as my man Raider Felon said. And to me, I prefer that. I don't want somebody who wants somewhere else if we're going to get the watered down version of the guy that's coming here. No. I want his best when you come and you put on silver and black. I think that if we do go and get Jim Harbaugh, we will be getting the best Jim Harbaugh that anyone has ever got. We will be getting the best Jim Harbaugh that anyone has ever gotten. And that's an exciting proposition for the Raiders. But like I said, guys, this is a great situation to be in, right? Because this is, in my heart of hearts, this is not what I want to happen, but I think this is what's happening. I think that Mark Davis is saying he's doing the work. He's not saying a whole lot because, look, AP's a hell of a consolation prize, man. He's a hell of a consolation prize. He's a hell of a consolation prize. So either which way, man, you're not going to be able to get this decision wrong. I don't necessarily think if you pick one or the other that it's going to careen into a place where AP can't be successful. I don't think that if you bring in Harbaugh and you let AP walk, that the Raiders aren't going to be. I think that either which way, it's nothing but right eventually. Now, Mark Davis has also requested to speak to Ed Dodds. Peters, he's lining up GM hirings, man. He is lining up GM hirings. So I like how he's going about his business with this. Organizational structure. He's interviewing the GMs. So that means we're going to get the Champ Kelly decision in real time very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Thing about Ed Dodds and bringing Ed Dodds in that scares me is Ed Dodds' ties to Michigan, man. And Brady's ties to Michigan. And us hearing about Tom Brady being around the organization all weekend and being in Mark's ear and Mark having an inappropriate male crush on him. And then Peters won a Super Bowl as a scout with the Patriots. So the Patriot way, we can't get away from it, man. He became a scout with the Broncos in 2009. He helped them to win a Super Bowl, right? Been with the 49ers since 2017. Has a lengthy history of winning and a skilled talent evaluator. So this is a guy who can also give Champ Kelly a run for his money. The thing about the Champ Kelly and Ed Dodds thing, it is very, very, very hard to say, yo, Champ Kelly's going to be a great GM. Around league circles, yeah, but there's no tangible evidence. When you have a guy that was one of the lead scouts for a team like the Niners, or you see teams winning Super Bowls with him and then picking young players that he suggested, that is the kind of guy that I'm like, maybe, I don't know. See, I think the problem with us is we're so used to not getting the premium cut. We're not used to getting this. We're not used to being at the front of the line. We're not used to being at the head of the table, y'all. Y'all get used to it. Be patient. Because, we normally have to settle. We normally got to settle. We don't got to settle no more. We get the best of the best. Everybody wants to be a Raider, bro. We got young quarterbacks like Jalen Daniel. He wants to be a Raider. Jim Harbaugh most likely wants to be a Raider. Hey, man, that's a great thing to have. Y'all should be happy no matter what happens. And also, as you guys heard on the second best podcast in the world, the Oak Las Vegas Network, we get 2 3-round compensatory picks. So I'm going to tell you something, man. Listen, no, I love AP. I'm not married to Champ Kelly, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not married. I'm not married to Champ Kelly like I am AP. I'm not married. Champ Kelly's made some good decisions. I'm not married to him, though. With AP, it's like I feel like I'm almost betraying AP, man. Real rap. I love AP, man. Wait, man, hold on. The Patriot way is just a branch off the Raider tree. Al embraced the us versus the world mindset and literally told players to cheat if possible. You can get away with it, bro. That the Raider way is the league way. Everybody fucking. If you can find a competitive advantage, you're taking it. It's just when you get caught with your hand in a cookie jar, everybody says, "Oh, we didn't know." Just like Bounty Gate was such a big deal. Like Buddy Ryan and them weren't doing that shit, and everybody else in the league wasn't doing that shit in the day, man. You know the reason why the New York Giants put a roof on their practice field? Because everybody used to stay at the Marriott in East Rutherford and record their practices. And when Dan Reeves became the head coach of the New York Giants, it's the first thing he did because he remembers when he was an assistant for the Cowboys. So trust me, man. Everybody cheats. They all cheat, man. Christopher High Stakes Dixon. There you go again. Preach, brother. But no, that's that. Yo, it's the truth, though. We're at the head of the table, and I think people aren't used to it. Get used to it. Shauna, Silk, Nichols, the fly and wonderful. Exactly. We are not used to this type of attention. We're not. I tell you, the Raiders are like a big girl who lost 100 pounds and got a BBL and a boob job. That is how our fan base is acting right now. I'm telling you right now, man. Johnny Kicknuts, the greatest name in YouTube history. Harbaugh was an Al Davis guy. He was a real Raider. I'm telling you, man. And see, what are you talking about? Wasted. Please tell the real reason. Tell the real reason for what, Aunt C? You damn right I'm saying that, DeMarcus Webb. We are definitely Roman Reigns. Acknowledge us. Acknowledge us. Raider Jimmy, what do you think about Jaden at the game last night? I think that, look, we all know the connection with Jaden Daniels. We all know what he's trying to do. He's trying to position himself for the Raiders to move and try to make a move to take him. I love it. Look, I like Jaden Daniels, man. He has a lot of talent. If I'm being honest, I prefer Michael Penix. But if we get Jaden Daniels, I'm happy about that. Bro, this year is such a strange year, man. This year is such a strange year because we have so many options, bro. Like, even at quarterback. Like, I can't sit up here and tell you that. Like, to be real with you, bro, you take the 2 knee injuries away from Michael Penix. And even with the 2 knee injuries, to me, I will probably take him over Caleb Williams. Everybody says that. Like, I just think the whole Caleb Williams trope is weird because I wonder whether it's a bit of, like, prospect fatigue. Because sometimes when you have a prospect that has been widely regarded as the number one guy, you start finding things to try to elevate and catapult somebody above him. It kind of reminds me of Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. It reminds me of that. Because there were a lot of people that were saying that Ryan Leaf should be taking over Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning was widely regarded as the number one pick for like 2 or 3 years. And he went back to school. My guy, Top, you're wasted. Do you think that because Champ can get us 2, 3-round compensatory picks that he becomes expendable because of the value he leaves with? Dobbs on the table. It's enticing, bro. No, I don't think that Mark Davis and people at that level of an organization are looked at as collateral damage. I believe that if Mark truly believes in Champ Kelly as a guy, as the guy, and he could give a damn about those picks. But if he feels like Ed Dodds is the better choice, yeah, it's a little gravy on top of the situation. That's all it is. But I don't think that Mark Davis would go into the situation and say, hey, Ed Dodds, Champ Kelly. Well, Champ gets me 2 compensatory, so Ed Dodds. I don't think that's what's going to happen, bro. Champ signing the players he did today. Is it a sign that he's coming back? No, it's not. I think Champ Kelly and, Antonio Pierce are doing what everyone does. They're doing the job until they don't have it anymore. And that's the way you should operate. You do the job and you work the job that you have. You do what's right for the job that you have. Because even when you leave said job behind, if you did something stupid and you let one of these guys that you believe in get off your practice squad and you didn't do everything that you could have done, right? That's on your file. Like, we are all actively out here every single day. We're all actively out there really promoting our brand as people. We're all out there doing that. When we go to work every day, the work that you put in every single day at your job, right, signifies what kind of person you are a lot of the times. Are you a hard worker? Are you a smart guy? Are you a lazy guy? Are you an excuse maker? Are you a guy that can be dependent on? A lot of times, the way you work is the way you live your life. And that's right, Top. He's trying to prove his worth to the team by making smart moves, man. My guy, Clint Westwood, get off my lawn, gang, aficionado. Facts. And the fact that Harbaugh is out here cheating at Michigan and doing it so well until he was caught, Al knew that man Harbaugh was a true Raider. Sign him up immediately to the staff. My guy, Clint Westwood has been a big Harbaugh guy, man. I'm like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm ashamed of this, 98% of the time when I come on the air and I talk to y'all, I know exactly who I want, why, and everything. With this Harbaugh shit, I don't know. That's why I keep talking about it so much. It's almost like I'm having an intervention with Raider Nation every day trying to decide who I want as our coach. I'm telling you right now, man. Hug D's. I love the hype of all the possibilities this offseason, but scared to death we make the wrong choices. We have a track record of being stupid. I'm praying. Now, look, man, this the funny thing, bro. Don't listen, man. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, and the present is a gift. The present is a gift, man. Living today. Because, 10 years ago, 6 years ago, we didn't have Allegiant Stadium. We didn't have the amount of resources that we have now. We didn't have, Devon, we didn't have this kind of stuff. This is a brave new world. This is essentially the Raider Equinox coming to fruition this year. My guy, Raider Teo, man. Got an idea. What if you trade for the first, then trade back to the third pack, get some of your picks back, getting the top 3 quarterback? Listen, that would be dope. That would be borderline draft day with Kevin Costner. Be excellent. I have no problem with it, man. As long as they get up there and they can get their guy, man. Now, guys, let's talk about the game a little bit. I've kind of gotten off and careened off into a place where all we're talking about is what's going on. Let's talk about some of the players that we're going to leave this year. Now, we're 44 minutes in. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Get us up over 700. Now, if Patrick, and we're going to talk about if Patrick Graham leaves too, because Patrick Graham is out there actively, I'm telling you, if we realize it, other teams realize what we have in Patrick Graham. And I'm telling you right now, man, he might get offered a job, man. I've been hearing it. Now, Hunter Renfrow, happy trails, Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow will not be brought back to the Raiders. Hunter Renfrow will save us $8 million in cap. Shout out to him. He's been excellent for us. I mean, where he was picked, the production we've got out of Hunter Renfrow, I got a lot of love and respect for the great Hunter Renfrow. It's just time for the Raiders to move on. It's time for Hunter Renfrow to move on, man. You know what I'm saying? He's getting the Wayne Corbett treatment in real time. You know what I mean? Keyshawn Johnson once said that Wayne Corbett's like flashlight, I'm like the sun. And I'm telling you, that's pretty much what's happening now. You got Jacoby Myers, you got Devontae Adams, you got Tucker. This ain't the place for Hunter Renfrow. Shout out to Hunter Renfrow, though, man. Josh Jacobs. Everyone said Josh Jacobs gone. That's not necessarily true. Listen, Josh Jacobs said yesterday, If Antonio Pierce is retained as head coach, he is willing to take a team-friendly deal because he loves what's going on here. Now, I don't know whether Antonio Pierce and them will bring Josh back because Josh is in a situation where we are watching the mortality of the running back happen in our face right now. I'm telling you, man. My guy, Thor, Red Nation Drinking Club. Go over there and pull up on Thor every now and again when he gets rocking and rolling. Just wondering, to me, it sounds like most couch fans want Jim Harbaugh. See, Thor, I don't think that's fair, bro. I don't think that's fair because, look, man, nobody Raiders the same, man. We all misfits, right? But when you look at this shit, if you're sitting back and you're taking your emotions out of it, I think people who want Jim Harbaugh are the kind of people who don't like surprises. I think people that want Jim Harbaugh are people who are not dreamers. I think people who want Jim Harbaugh are guys who want tangible results. They're the kind of people that go on Consumer Report and that's how they buy a TV. That's how they buy a car. They look, okay, this is rated this has this much RAM. They said this is the best TV. This is the one I'm getting, right? And you got others who go in there and we look and we fuck around with the television. We go to Best Buy and we look and see, oh, this one got the best picture. That's a cold motherfucker right there. I like the way this look better here. I like the way this look. And this shit cheaper than the Samsung. You know, I'm going to get that one. I think that is 100% what's going on right now. The dreamers, the people who believe, they want AP. Because you have to have a certain sense of belief to buy into what he's selling. You can see tangible proof, right? But it's not the kind of tangible proof that you could really take to the bank. You can't really take it to the bank. Thank you, NVD money. Thank you. I tend to do that. Thank you for telling me that was a great analogy. I'm going to pat myself on the back like Barry Horowitz. but believe you me. Believe you me, man. It does not go unnoticed that, the dreamers are in the AP because you have to dream a little bit. You have to because you don't know. You don't even know whether Patrick Graham is coming with him. You know nothing. Only thing you know is we get an AP. What that entails, you don't know. My guy, Apocalypse. We have to be real and realize that with Harbaugh comes the built-in QB mentoring with the rookie under center, and that is priceless, a priceless trait. Look, Apocalypse, we don't even know if Jim Harbaugh is in the market to draft a quarterback. Maybe Jim Harbaugh is under the estimation that he can go and bring in a proven veteran like a Russell Wilson. Maybe. We're over 700 in here, y'all. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Clint Westwood, car ruined Renfro. Stared him down so many times and roots, and he got popped time after time. And Renfro runs to the Saints. He needs to go in the CTE program immediately. Look, Hunter Renfro is a turnover machine even when he was at Clemson. That's the reason why he fell in the draft. He's a turnover machine. Hunter Renfro he didn't win the gene lottery. Hunter Renfro got a heart bigger than a guy like DK Metcalf, but he looks like he should be doing your taxes. My guy Thor, if we go to that route, then I'm yelling, go Jim, go. I truly just want to win. And Thor, that's a fact, man. And see, that's the thing. Thor's a gambler. Thor lets it ride. He will gamble on AP. This is a man from the town. Said, don't bring that evil wasted. Look, bro, I'm going to be honest with you, too. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question, right? Because, we got our 2024 opponents, right? The Raiders 2024 opponents, right? So let's look into this, right? So when you guys are talking about, and we'll get into that a little later, right? Now let's get into it now, right? So the Raiders 2024 opponents, right? Home, Browns, Falcons, Jaguars, Panthers, Steelers, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. Away. Got to go. Cincinnati, that's a tough one. The Buccaneers is no cakewalk. The Fins is no cakewalk. The Rams, the Ravens, the Saints, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. Again, it's not a bad schedule as currently constituted, right? Right. Now, I'm looking at some of them away games, and I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, am I going to go to Baltimore, or am I going to go to the seat and play the Saints? We'll get into that later, right? But, guys, this is a situation where the Raiders can be competitive and really, really make a run next year. They can get into the playoffs. Now, do you get there with a rookie, or do you draft a rookie a little later, and hear me out, and bring in a Russell Wilson? Bring in a Russell Wilson to be the placeholder. Russell Wilson, bro, and it's the funny thing, but a lot of people will tell you that, Russell Wilson's a scrub and all of this dumb shit, right? Russell Wilson's numbers this year, bro, he played phenomenal this year. Russell Wilson beat he beat the Browns, he beat the Chiefs. I think he beat Buffalo this year too. Russell Wilson was having a great year. 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I don't understand why, if you brought Russell Wilson in on a cheap, say for instance you were to get a J.J. McCarthy in the second round. Say for instance you were to get a Bo Nix in the second round. Say for instance you would go and you would draft a young guy, and let them sit for a year, and you'd have the incumbent vet. Yeah, he beat the Bills. I'm just asking you, what would be wrong with that? If you had a Jim Harbaugh running that pro-style offense who needs a quarterback that is mobile. Russell Wilson is not as mobile as he once was, but he's still mobile. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Why am I bugging? Why am I bugging? Why am I bugging to go bring in a veteran quarterback on the cheap and have a rookie sit there and learn with an Aidan O'Connell on his roster? Why not? Why would I not? Everybody says, how about Wilson in the locker room? How do we know Russell Wilson won't do well in his locker room? See, Russell Wilson, if anything, has been humbled. It's been humbled. And Russell Wilson was not a bad guy in the locker room. Russell Wilson is a guy who just is a different guy. He tried to be that CEO kind of quarterback. It doesn't work for him. He don't really had a resume to be the CEO quarterback. So Russell Wilson's humble. He's brought in for a cheaper contract. Then everyone knows that, you're not the future of the team. You're a placeholder. I don't understand why that would be bad. I don't know. Like, if you got a guy that Jim Harbaugh loved, right? A guy that can move and can run Jim Harbaugh's office, that's if Jim Harbaugh gets hired. If Jim Harbaugh gets hired and they draft a young kid that he can let sit, and then, take the reins from, let Russ can come in 1 year, maybe 2 years, and then let the kid fly. Say for instance, we got it like you know what I'm saying, like a Cam Ward or somebody like that. Somebody who's raw that needs to sit and develop him with a guy who has been a former Super Bowl winner. Why is that a dumb thing to me? I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Everybody says Russ in the locker room, right? When he got benched, he didn't go take his ball and go home like Derek Carr did. Tell you that. Why is he trash? Super Bowl winner, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks. He has not been trash this year, bro. He had a rough year last year because their roster was bad. He was trying, Nathaniel Hackett is one of the worst offensive play callers in football. The only one who likes him is Aaron Rodgers. Nathaniel Hackett's terrible. Why is that man trash? That man has been a perennial all-pro, but most of his career. Ed Butts, thinking with the left side of his brain. Bring in Russ for the cheap and draft Daniels to learn under. Bringing in Russell Wilson, to me, is almost like bringing in Rich Gannon at the end of his career. A guy who can throw, that's mobile, that's a pro, that can get it done, can make all the throws. Why can't we do both? This is what you guys need to open your ears and listen to Old Man Wasted. Open your ears. Let's get both. I mean, God. Wow. You guys listening to the old man. Chat, don't be disrespecting my great grandpa Wasted. Respect your elders. Salute Grandpa Wasted. Listen, hold the F up. I am not a grandfather yet. I have teenage daughters. Do not wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I do not want to be nobody grandfather for at least 10 years. Shit, 10 years? Yeah, the kid would be almost 30. Yeah, 10 years? Maybe. Not now. Please don't wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. My guy, Sean Yost from West Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore with love. Shout out to my brother Ken and Hotep too, man. The AP lookalike, man. If the money right, I wouldn't scoff at it. That's what I'm talking about. Philly Raider. I agree with you 100%, Wasted. D Cookie, you gotta be one of the funniest Raider channels. Look, D Cookie, I don't know whether to laugh or anything, man. Yo, Big Raider, he says, not trash, but F him. Yo, boys. My guy, Late Show Raider. This is what have you done for me lately, League, Wasted. How long ago was Wilson Super Bowl? It was a long time, but it wasn't a long time when he was, throwing for 26 touchdowns and 9 picks and playing fucking excellent and beating the Chiefs and beating the Browns and beating the Buffalo Bills. Like, what are we talking about here? Sean Payton sabotaged that guy. Sean Payton sabotaged him. Crispin, you are outside of your mind. You guys, listen, man, and I'm being serious. You guys are out. I'm not trolling. If you brought Jim Harbaugh in, because I'm looking at it from this perspective, what is it going to take for us to get up to where we could draft a quarterback? Look, whatever it takes, I hope we do it, right? But what if nobody's willing to play ball with us? And we don't get our guy we're not getting our guy at number 13. You guys need to really open your thoughts up to this. What if we're not able to move up? What if we're not able to move up? Who better? Who better that's available right now? Who effing better? Yeah, I said Rich Gannon. Yes. You act like, see, this is the funny thing about a lot of young cats. Everybody acts like Rich Gannon was this great player before he got to the Raiders. Rich Gannon was a journeyman quarterback. Rich Gannon used to be Wade Wilson's backup. He was a decent quarterback. Russell Wilson's been an all-pro. The F you talking about? Super Bowl winning quarterback. The F are y'all talking about? Raider John, YouTube legend in the place. Russ wasn't the problem this year. The problem was, if you look at what he did last year, we would really have to get someone that vibes right with him as an offensive coordinator. Bro, I think Russell Wilson's a pro. I think Nathaniel Hackett is horrible. And I think that Sean Payton went into that situation and the ownership of the Broncos wanted to take some of his guarantees away from him, and they did Russell Wilson dirty. That's what I think. And I think you guys are tweaking. So what was like watching Super Bowl II, Wasted? I'll tell you what, it was splendiferous. It was splendiferous, other than the fact that we lost in Super Bowl II. Daryl LaMonica could not deal with the zone defense, man. The Mad Bomber himself. Wasted. I'm a Bay Area Raider fan. Can't be doing my MVP. No, Rich Gannon was great I love Rich Gannon. What I'm saying to you is that Russell Wilson is more accomplished than Rich Gannon was when Rich Gannon got to us. Russell Wilson is way more accomplished of a player than when Rich Gannon got to the Raiders. You know what? I'm gonna pull some numbers up here. Y'all want to play with me? God damn it! F are y'all playing with, man? Do you know who the great and who I am? I am the great and powerful wasted talent. The F is wrong with you guys. Shout out to Rich Gannon too. So let's look at Rich Gannon's numbers. Okay, this is the wrong screen. Present, move on. That's right. We got dead air, and it's okay. All right, Rich Gannon, drafted in 1987, the wonderful year of 1987. Minnesota Vikings, 4 games played, 3 games played, 0 games played in 1989. 1990, 14 games played, 12 games started, 5-7, 182 completions, 349 attempts, pass percentage 52%, 2,278 yards, 16 touchdowns. 1991, 15 games played, 11 games started, 6-5 as a starter, 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. So look, come on, Minnesota, 1900, 8-4, 13 picks. Washington, 3 touchdowns, 7 picks. Kansas City, 2 games played, 0 games started. Didn't have much production there. 4 games played, 1996. 3 games started, 1-2. Not 6 touchdowns. He did okay, in the limited time he played. 1997. This was a bad year for the Raiders too. 1997. Bad year for the Raiders. This is a Joe Bugle year, right? He was 9 games played, 6 games started, 5-1, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. I mean, okay, look, Kansas City. Then he comes to the Raiders. 16 games played, 16 games started. We were 8-8 in 1999. He had 3,800 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 picks. 2016, 12-4. We cooking, 3,000 yards. 28-11, 2001. 3,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 picks. 2002, a great year, league MVP. Almost 5,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks. 7-7, wasn't a great year. 7 games played, 7 games started, 6-4. Then 2004, boom. Rich Gannon started getting hurt. That was it, right? So that is the ballad of Rich Gannon. That was the ballad of Rich Gannon, everybody. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up Russell Wilson's numbers. Let's do it. Let's pull up Russell Wilson's numbers, yo. So that was 1987 to 2004. Russell Wilson stats. Let's do it. Stats. Career stats, NFL, ESPN. Okay. Now, it's the wrong tab. God damn it. You would think that I would do this better. I don't ever share anything. You see, which one did I use? ESPN. There we go. Boom. So, 2012, 16 games played. 3,000 yards, 26-10. 2013, 26. 3,000 yards, 26-9. 16 games played. 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 7 picks. 2015, 16 games played. 34 touchdowns, 8 picks. You see that? Consistency. 16 games, 16 games, 16 games, 16 games, 14 games. Look, 20 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns in 2020, 31 touchdowns, 35. Listen, look at that. Then the rushing yards. Look at the rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. Look at that. Super Bowl winner. Why is this man a scrub? I just want to know. The F is going on here. Why is this man a scrub? Shout out to everybody on Twitter. We got live viewers right now. It is, we are cooking in here, damn it. Danny Millette, I am not trolling. I'm dead ass serious, bro. Larry DM. If we had a QB with Wilson's stats, we would be in the playoffs right now. Shout out to you. That's right. My guy, Rich Gannon, is a blue hen. The Delaware blue hen. I think Russell Wilson was in a lucky situation with a run game and fantastic. Bro, listen to me. They were just as lucky to have drafted him when they did. They located the quarterback. He had a great coach, great GM, Schneider and them guys, and they built a great team. But don't sit up here and fucking act like Russell Wilson is some bum. Stop it. The F out of here, man. Mando. Wasted sounds like Coach Carter yelling at his team right now. LOL, listen to the old man Wasted. He's been around many moons. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. Alpha Omega. Remember when Russ had no weapons and all the running backs got hurt and Beast Mode signed to play again for the Seahawks? The Steelers going to get Russ. They might. They might. But if he came here, there are weapons here. I'm saying this. If AP's our coach, draft the guy, do whatever you got to do. If Harbaugh comes here, bro, and he gets J.J. McCarthy in the second round, I want him to bring a veteran with him. That's what I want. You know, box scores don't tell the story, bro. Been trash at least the last 1.5 years in Seattle. Yeah, it wasn't trash. So, okay, the last year and a half in Seattle, the 1 year he threw 40 fucking touchdowns and he's trash, King 85? How is that possible? Trash? Come on, bro. You better than that, King. You better than that. Trash? Like, even this year, the guy was cooking this year. Yo, they sabotaged us. And I don't like Russell Wilson. What I'm telling you is be mindful. If we cannot move up to get our quarterback, we are drafting 13th in the draft. 13th. You will not get the quarterback that you're looking for at 13. It won't happen. Steve Olenia. I can't imagine Wasted in 1987. Oh, wait. He's still dressed like Run DMC. Wasted. Once again, salute. F you. Steve. Scott Shot. What it is. Shout out. My guy. If y'all up tonight, 9 PST, come on over to Raider Nation Drinking Club. If y'all up, go have some madcap fun when I got through it. No, and we know Russ had a great defense, but listen, what does the defense have to do with Russell Wilson going out there and performing at the highest level? Throwing 30, 40 touchdowns. Like, give me a fucking break. Let me tell y'all something, man. You guys got to start thinking with the left side of your brain here. Think with the left side of your brain. Don't always let everybody spoon feed you an opinion. Look at I think Russell Wilson's a phony and a corn, but can the man play football? Yes, the fuck he can. And a lot of y'all that are arguing against broaching that subject if we don't get our quarterback in the draft are the same ones who was defending Derek Carr's fucking scrub ass. People telling me he was Carr's better than Russell Wilson. I remember that shit when I first got into YouTube. Like, man, get the F out of here. Eddie C, man, with the $5 holla. Appreciate you, bro. Latavarian Savage. He is only a bum just for the simple fact that he is a pony. LOL. That's a fact, man. Wasted. You got to admit, you want Russ because Sierra comes with him. Nah, that's cool. I'm cool on Sierra, bro. Listen, man, she for the streets, as Future said. Cool. Now, that's that man wife. I would never do that. Let me stop, man. My guy, Raider John. Russ is okay. I just hope he's been humble. Because that whole, I got a coach in my... Bro, that shit ain't flying with the Raiders. This will be his third team. I know he'll be humble. It's his third team, bro. Julio Coolio Jones, Raider Nation. Let's all venture to the great unknown together by drafting a QB, seeing the horizons to plunder us. Look, I want us to draft a guy. I'm just letting y'all know, y'all act like people have to trade up with us. They don't have to do that, bro. They can say, you know what? No, I'm cool. What if we try to get in and trade with the Chargers? The Chargers are like, no, we're not fucking with you. What if we're not willing to give up what they're asking for? Then now you got to start looking at who's available in free agency. Corey Hagan, how could you say it's Carr 2.0? Russell Wilson wins. Russell Wilson been to 2 Super Bowls. Derek Carr's never won a fucking playoff game. What are you talking about? And like I said, you have to do what's necessary and not what's popular. Damn, dude, that hit. For 20 years, they have sucked, man. Let the best candidate win. Open our minds. We aren't in those interviews to know. We're not. Shit is crazy. Unbelievable. No, I'm cool. I'm cool, yo. This is what we do every day over here. This is what we do every day. That's why I love these guys. That's what we do. We have healthy banter and debate. That is what we do here at Raider Nation Unlimited. Russell Wilson is who Tay thought Carr was. An actual Hall of Famer. Man, talk that shit, man. Russ is the total opposite. What exactly is a Raider, bro? Like, I know what a Raider is, but yo, everybody says that shit until the guy comes here and wins a few games for us, and then all of a sudden he's a Raider. You're not a Raider until you come here and win. And listen, Justin Fields, we don't know if he's fucking available. Justin Fields is a Chicago Bear. He's a Chicago Bear. He is a Chicago Bear. It's a Chicago Bear. The Chicago Bears might in their infinite wisdom say we like Justin Fields. Their fans did the same thing we did for AP yesterday. The Bears might just hold on to him. They might build that thing the way they're building it. The Bears got the 9th pick and the 1st pick. They might say, take the 1st pick. I want more picks. And they can have a damn all-star team if they draft properly. Robert Cisnero, will 6 be high enough? I don't know. That's the problem. Because who's ever moving up to number 1, if Chicago stays at number 1, they're taking a quarterback. But if they move out of number 1, you only go up to number 1 and take a quarterback, right? The Washington Commanders are taking a quarterback. They have to. They have a new regime. They fired their head coach. They brought in Bob Myers, Mr. Moneyball, basketball guy, right? They're going to get their quarterback. 3, the Patriots. If the Patriots move on from Bill Belichick, whoever new comes in here is getting their quarterback. Now, if Bill Belichick stays, there's a possibility that the Patriots can be in business because we all know Bill Belichick loves to trade down and take guys that are scrubs, right? But Bill Belichick is a guy, Mike Tomlin is a guy who could go after Russell Wilson, right? So then now we're out of it because maybe we can get into the 3rd pick and pick our guy, right? The 4th pick, the Arizona Cardinals. We all know, what does Kyler Murray need? A number 1 receiver. So if 3 quarterbacks go, the best player in the draft, without position, the 2 best players in the draft are Caleb Williams, 1A, and Marvin Harrison, 1A plus. So the Arizona Cardinals are not moving. They're not moving, bro. So now you in that 5 territory. So now what you going to do? Wilson can slide in the pocket. The question is how cheap. Cheapy cheap, Raider Nomad. Cheapy cheap. Cheapy cheap. My guy, Raider John, bro, I'm looking at the draft order. Right now, literally, the only team we'd be able to trade with is the Chargers. And after the legendary ass one we put on them, there's no way they'll cooperate. Holy shit. Jokers are tripping on his corny-ass character, but dude is a competitor with very good numbers consistently. Sean for West Baltimore, always bringing the smack. Has Russ been cut? He will be. They benched him. They benched him for the last 2 games because they don't want to pay him. He's not their future. Sean Payton is moving on. He's trying to get a quarterback. And then you also have to realize that the Broncos are ahead of us in the draft order, so their draft pick means more than ours does. Their first round pick up is valued higher than ours because it's a couple of spots ahead of us. They need a quarterback. They're moving on for Russell Wilson. They don't have anybody on their roster they're moving forward with. They're not moving forward with Jarrett Stidham. Lab my ass. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to do. We're going to stay ass at 13 and draft all trench work on both sides of the ball. We can't say Russ will come. What? Listen, you can, because Russell Wilson he views himself as a starting quarterback. Listen. Okay, the Steelers. People say he'd go to the Steelers. That makes perfect sense, right? But the Steelers are not the kind of organization to move on from a kid. His third full year starting. They're not moving on from Kenny Pickett that fast. The Atlanta Falcons pick before we do. They'd probably get a quarterback, right? They need a quarterback. Just like really, like, yo, walk with me, y'all. Walk with me. Yo, it's a real possibility, man. And if we get Jim Harbaugh, it is a bigger possibility. Especially if you get a J.J. McCarthy, where he might have to put a little muscle on. Kevin BMW. The Steelers will move on from Pickett because of the 5th-year option. They're not going to pay. Bro, he's not even at the 5th year yet. He's not even at the 5th year yet. They haven't seen enough. Kenny Pickett was hurt a lot this year. Kenny Pickett, this will be his 3rd year, I think. Let me look. Yeah. Kenny Pickett, let me put Kenny Pickett up, Wikipedia. Kenny Pickett here. Yeah, next year, 2024 will be Kenny Pickett's 3rd year. Y'all talking about moving on from his 5th year? They're not going to move. They might not move on from Kenny Pickett. And I've heard in the media that they believe in Kenny Pickett. Yes, Raider Felon, I'm really talking about Russell Wilson, bro, because it's a real possibility. I have to. If we're not able to move up, and we're not able, so we're not able to move up, and we're not able to get Justin Fields, then what do? Do you roll with Aidan O'Connell again? I'm just asking. We must talk about it. But not serious. There are 5 or 6 draftable QBs in the first round. We got to have one of them, bro. Thing about it is this. The Raiders brass might only like 3 of them. We're saying they're 5 draftable quarterbacks. People's draft boards are different, bro. So when you look at the draft board, you might say, okay, quarterback is our number 1 need, right? Who are our top 10 players on the board? You might have 3 of those quarterbacks in your top 10. Then the other 7 could be trench players, receivers, this, that, and the third, right? So then when you start breaking it down and you're like, at 13, our 2nd best player on the board is available. I'm not willing to just draft a quarterback that I'm not into. Bad organizations do that. That's what happens, and you wind up with guys like Desmond Ridder as your starter. When you draft a guy that you're not into. Look, and with Bo Nix, listen, Bo Nix was a guy that I was considering when I thought we were going to go to playoffs and we were going to draft in the 18s or the 20s. I don't want to take Bo Nix at 13, bruh. I don't know if I want to do that. I would rather move up a little bit. So I want you guys to start wrapping your mind around this. I don't want Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson hasn't played a meaningful down of football in 3 years. I'm cool on Deshaun Watson, and he's a bit creepy. I'm cool. We do not want to have the Don of the massage parlors in Las Vegas. He will be going crazy. He'll be accosting. The guy be reeking of massage oils in practice. And see, Raider felon. And then we trade back. Now, if you get Bo Nix in the 20s, you get another pick, I'm cool with that. Right? That's another option not to get Russ. I'm just saying. What happens if somebody moves over us and we're trying to play that game and somebody moves right ahead of us and takes Bo? Then we wind up with nothing. No. That's the guy I don't want. I would rather have Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins twice on Sunday. Yes, sir. Well, guys, listen. We've been at this almost an hour and a half. I love every single one of y'all. This has been wasted talent yelling at all of you for an hour and a half about Russell Wilson. I don't know what the F happened. Graf is about to be unceremoniously blocked. Graf. Yo, love all of y'all, man. I'm going to get on out of here. We're going to be rocking with you all week. We might be going live. I don't know. I got some shit going on, bro. But yo, look, if I'm being real, I want us to draft a quarterback. But I had to do this. You guys, listen, I had to take the live in its place. I need you guys to start wrapping your mind around this. Wrap your mind around this. This could possibly happen if we don't take that big swing to get one of the quarterbacks we want, guys. And if it happens, am I going to be ecstatic? No. But will I understand it? Absolutely, man. Who do I have? I got Michigan winning this. Wasted, did you watch a lot of Russ games? My girl, unfortunately, is a Donkeys fan. I've seen 90% of his Denver snaps cooked. Bro, this year, Russell was playing well. I've watched a lot of him here. And to be honest with you, listen, Graphic has been unceremoniously blocked. Said the second greatest show of all time. Graphic, let me tell you something, man. I can't be number 2 if I tried, man. I can't be number 2 if I tried. You know what they say to me, man? They say to me, man, you are unique. You are the number 1 man out there on the YouTube streets, man. Wasted talent. Say, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to get out of here, man. Y'all have a good night, man. And y'all already know what it is.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yes, man. It's nasty work out here. The price is going up for us to get a quarterback, man. Y'all have a great night, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.